The Warriors are known for shooting three-point shots. They're going up and down the floor, shooting it from deep. How in that game, when you see these guys just what it looks like they're just jacking up threes and they're going in, how do you kind of keep your composure? Does it make you want to shoot, some threes too? Or how do you kind of maintain or kind of hold the wave back when they're just piling on those three-pointers?
It's tough because, it's one of those situations where you, read the room.
Okay.
And it's like, all right, they get, it's time, they get busy. They hitting these deep threes. All right, the crowd is going crazy. Let me get one up. But you can't fall into that trap because that's their game style. That's how they play. Their offense, the way they can shoot. They're a fast-paced team, and they have, the green light to shoot and take tough shots. So for us, we couldn't fall in that trap because we're not a 3-point shooting team the way they are. We create off of penetration, kickouts, pick and roll, stuff like that. And so our game is more mid-range, get to the basket. We got big wings, finish at the rim. So I thought that was our way of countering. We're just gonna be physical. We're gonna play at the rim. We're gonna get offensive rebounds, putbacks. That was our way of countering them going crazy with their threes. But you can't get into a pissing match with them, bro.
Warriors, boy.
You can't, or you're gonna fall behind. You don't make shots, they're making shots, the crowd is in it, and then now it's just a tough game. Their defense gets involved.
I just want to know what version of the Warriors dynasty is the best. What was the hardest playing against?
Easy. The year they had KD.
Because you got the KD era, you got the
73 and 9
Nash brothers, and then you got exactly with the Draymond.
They all were threes
back in the day
when he was lethal behind.
Which one version you done played against
version?
All of them.
The toughest one was the KD era. That is by far the toughest Warriors team.
I would say that too, KD.
And you know what's crazy? So I don't know if y'all remember the year Clay had the 60
off
in 3/4
dribbles.
Y'all know that was against me.
Was it?
Well, not the Pacers, my Pacers team.
Got it.
But I was a part of that. I was a part of that.
You need to let them know that.
I didn't.
Clay don't talk trash out there, does he?
Clay will talk trash if it's
talk to him.
If you talk to him, Clay's the same way. He gonna hit you with some real subtle, make you think about it.
He hit you with quiet.
The shit he do with D Book, 4 rings. What can I say to that? You know what I mean?
What was it like watching him drop all those when you were in Indiana, just going off? Talk about that experience.
Yeah, it was crazy because, we weren't we switch now. And if when you're playing the Warriors, you have to switch. You have to be alert. You have to have your head on a swivel because they move so much. That Pacers team, we weren't switching then. And it was tough to switch because we had 2 small guards. We had Monte Ellis and Jeff Teague. And then there's KD out there. So we're not going to switch Jeff Teague onto KD. And so they were just moving, bro. And we was trying to keep bodies on bodies. They hit one person. They flying off.
Yeah.
And shooters can't do nothing.
You can't do nothing, bro. And I remember Clay was just going off.
They jump shots was like layups back then.
Back then.
A jump shot was a layup to them.
The jump shot was a layup. And he's shooting it from everywhere. The ball
That's what I'm saying.
Be on his, barely on his palm, and it's going up, and it's cool.
That's crazy. He shoot better than his dad.
Catch, shoot. He shoots the ball
His
so
daddy
fast.
was a big man.
I'm saying.
Yes, he shoots.
I'm talking about Steph.
Oh, yeah.
Steph. I'm talking about Steph. You talking about Clay.
They both shoot better than
they both shoot better
Yeah, they both. But, Waddell was a shooter, and that's crazy. You shoot better than your pops.
Better than your pops.
But if your pops is a shooter, come on now.
You guarantee.
You guarantee, because Seth shoots better than his pops.
Yeah, that's true, too.
So,
one season almost shot better than
Steph. Yeah, they had a year where he competed.
He had a good year.
But, it's just crazy, that game. Go back to that game. It was just crazy because they were flying all over the place.
That's crazy. You really
and it was he did it in I want to say 11 dribbles. They counted how many dribbles he took.
He just catches the ball.
How do you put 60 up with 11 dribbles?
He's sticky. He too quick. He never stops. Who gonna keep him? Who gonna catch up to him?
I remember I talked to Monte. We were coming out of timeout, and he didn't even have no words. He was just
just tired running a monster.
I'm
what did he even say?
He didn't say nothing. He was just because we weren't barking at each other, but we was kind of mad at the game plan. Like, bro, we gotta switch. And so I'm talking to Monte, and he like,
who he had to stick?
He had Clay.
Oh my God.
I had KD. Jeff had Steph, and I think Thaddeus had Draymond, and I forget who Miles was guard. I don't even know who their fifth was, but it didn't even matter on that team. They was tough.
Well, you beat them last night.
We beat them last night.
In a shocking move that has sent shockwaves throughout the NBA, the Golden State Warriors, known for their strategic brilliance, find themselves at a critical juncture. Fresh off securing Stephen Curry's future with a lucrative contract extension, the Warriors were faced with a tantalizing opportunity that could potentially redefine their legacy. Paul George, a 7-time All-Star with a resume that speaks for itself, was within their grasp. The prospect of adding George, a player capable of taking over games and providing a formidable scoring punch, seemed like a no-brainer. But in a twist that no one saw coming, the Warriors decided to pass on this opportunity. Instead, they chose to keep a young, unproven talent, Brandon Podziemski, leaving fans and analysts alike questioning whether this decision was driven by logic or pure emotion. Did the Warriors just gamble away their best shot at another championship, or is there a method to their madness? Let's unravel the complexities of this high-stakes decision. As the 2024 offseason reached its peak, the Golden State Warriors found themselves at a pivotal crossroads. With Stephen Curry still performing at an MVP level, the clock is ticking for the Warriors to capitalize on his greatness. The possibility of acquiring Paul George, a player with proven playoff experience and the ability to lock down opponents on both ends of the floor, was tantalizing. George's arrival would have undoubtedly transformed the Warriors into instant favorites, especially in a Western Conference that's more competitive than ever. The stakes couldn't have been higher. Yet, despite the overwhelming allure of bringing in such a star, the Warriors made a decision that left many scratching their heads. They chose to hold on to Brandon Podziemski, a 21-year-old guard whose potential, while evident, remains largely unproven on the biggest stage. This decision was not made lightly. It was a calculated risk that speaks volumes about the Warriors' vision for the future. But what exactly made the Warriors believe so strongly in Podziemski, enough to pass on a surefire all-star? The answer lies in the organization's deep-rooted belief in nurturing homegrown talent and the strategic gamble that Podziemski could be a cornerstone for years to come. Brandon Podziemski's journey to the NBA was not one of overnight success, but of hard work, determination, and a relentless pursuit of excellence. Selected 19th overall in the 2024 NBA Draft, Podziemski quickly made a name for himself in the Warriors system. His rookie season stats --9.2 points, 5.8 rebounds, and 3.7 assists per game only scratched the surface of his potential. What truly sets him apart is his basketball IQ, his ability to read the game, and his work ethic, traits that the Warriors management holds in the highest regard. Mike Dunleavy, the Warriors GM, recognized these qualities early on, making it abundantly clear that Podziemski was untouchable in any trade negotiations. Yoraz Dunleavy reportedly told him, sending a powerful message not just to Podziemski, but to the entire NBA. The Warriors are committed to their young talent, even if it means passing on a player like Paul George. This decision wasn't just about the present, it was a bet on the future, a belief that Podziemski could evolve into a player who could contribute to the Warriors' long-term success. Yet, even with the unwavering support of the Warriors front office, the pressure on Podziemski is immense. The stakes are incredibly high, and the young guard is fully aware of the expectations that come with being the chosen one over an all-star like Paul George. But Podziemski isn't alone in this journey. Even Warriors owner Joe Lacob has thrown his full support behind him. In a league where players can often feel like mere assets in the eyes of ownership, Brandon Podziemski found an ally in Joe Lacob, the Warriors owner. Lacob, who has overseen the Warriors' rise to an NBA dynasty, made it a point to personally assure Podziemski of his value to the team. "You're a priority here," Lacob told the young guard, reinforcing the idea that Podziemski is more than just another player, he's a critical piece of the Warriors' future. This kind of affirmation from the top brass is rare, especially for a player so early in his career. But it underscores the Warriors' philosophy of building a team with a strong, cohesive culture where every player feels valued and motivated to reach their full potential. Lacob's support is not just about words, it's about creating an environment where Podziemski can thrive, knowing that the organization believes in him, even when the outside world might have doubts. But as much as the Warriors' front office has shown faith in Podziemski, the young guard is fully aware of the outside pressure. With the decision to keep him over an established star like Paul George, the spotlight on Podziemski has only intensified. The decision to keep Brandon Podziemski over Paul George has not come without its share of controversy. Warriors fans, accustomed to winning and eager for another title run, have expressed their concerns loudly on social media and in the press. Many question whether the Warriors front office has lost sight of the immediate need to capitalize on Stephen Curry's remaining prime years. The criticism has been fierce, with some even pointing fingers at Podziemski, as if he personally blocked the trade. Podziemski, despite his youth, has had to navigate this complex landscape, balancing his own development with the immense expectations placed upon him. "I see my fair share of it," Podziemski acknowledged, referring to the social media backlash. But rather than letting it deter him, Podziemski has used this as fuel for his fire. He knows that the best way to silence the critics is to prove himself on the court, to show that the Warriors were right to place their trust in him. As the Warriors look ahead to the upcoming season, the big question remains: can Podziemski rise to the occasion? Will he become the star that the Warriors believe he can be, or will this decision to pass on Paul George come back to haunt them? Brandon Podziemski is no stranger to adversity. Throughout his basketball journey, he's had to prove himself time and time again. Now, with the Warriors betting their future on his potential, Podziemski faces his biggest challenge yet. But instead of shrinking under the weight of expectations, Podziemski has embraced the pressure. He's committed to refining his game, improving his decision-making, and becoming a more aggressive scorer, all areas that will be crucial if he's to live up to the high hopes placed on him. As he prepares for his second NBA season, Podziemski knows that his performance will be under a microscope, not just by Warriors fans, but by the entire NBA. Yet, there's a quiet confidence in him, a belief that he can rise to the occasion and perhaps one day become the all-star that the Warriors need to secure another championship. It's a daunting task, but if his rookie season is any indication, Podziemski has the tools and the mindset to succeed. As the new season dawns, all eyes will be on Brandon Podziemski. The Warriors have made their choice, and now it's up to him to prove that their faith was not misplaced. The journey ahead will be challenging, but if Podziemski can rise to the occasion, he just might be the key to unlocking another championship for Golden State. The Golden State Warriors are no strangers to high-stakes decisions, but their choice to keep Brandon Podziemski over trading for Paul George may be one of the most controversial in recent memory. As the 2024-2025 season unfolds, the spotlight will be on Podziemski to see if he can meet the lofty expectations set for him. Only time will tell if the Warriors' gamble will pay off, or if it will be remembered as a missed opportunity in the twilight of Stephen Curry's legendary career. But one thing is certain: the stage is set for Podziemski to either rise to greatness or be overshadowed by what could have been. The Warriors have made their bet now. The game begins.